Hello, I'm Amber, and welcome to day one. Hooray! Day one. There's always a real energy to beginnings, and I love that. That just it's that kind of impetus and this excitement around doing something new and showing up for yourself in a new way. And so let's sort of dive right in. I don't want to overwhelm you with this stuff because I know that as soon as I get overwhelmed, I just completely check out. I'm like, bye. So really, each day is just going to be, maybe a 10-minute video and then 20 minutes of kind of playing with whatever the video talked about. And just sort of feeling that for yourself and, learning the process for yourself so you can bring it into your writing. And if you feel really inspired and want to immediately dive into your writing after this, I love that, go for it, have fun. But really what this process is tapping you into yourself and your intuition and your creativity so that then your book can just really flow through you. Because, one of the things that I have seen, with myself and with clients is, I'm intuitive, so I will, I'll tap in, and what I feel is their book, when they're ready to write a book, or, even if you're not feeling quite ready yet, just the fact that you're here means there's a book for you. There's a book in your energy already. And so when I tap into myself or clients, I can see the book. I can actually see it hovering in their field. And it's the book already exists. They just have to transcribe it. So that's that's basically the goal of this 5 days, is to get you to the place where you're just ready to transcribe your book and go. Because the beauty of transcribing the book you already know exists for you, is that the process doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to take a long time necessarily. It doesn't have to be angsty. It doesn't, I think there are a lot of kind of, not necessarily misconceptions, but I think there are a lot of ideas about how writing a book should be. And it's definitely it's not easy. There's always going to be stuff, and we're going through our own stuff, and sometimes, things don't organize themselves the way we'd like them to, and that's just part of the process. But, I think the process really can be, full of ease and joy. We just have to sort of ask for that and allow that. So kind of the very beginning of this process is to clear, is to kind of check in and see okay, what's going on in me that I need to clear out, clearing the channel, because if you're trying to get a glass of water and the pipe's all rusted and there's bits of dirt and twigs in there, what comes out into your glass is going to be a little sludgy and you're not necessarily going to want to drink it. So we kind of just want to clear out so that we can really receive, because one of the most beautiful ways that spirit lets us know that something needs to be done is to give us a feeling about it. Not necessarily that something needs to be done. I really like air quotes. I'm gonna probably do that a lot. They're bunny ears. Anyway, one of the most beautiful ways that spirit lets us know that we have something to be with or something to feel, is it'll send us an emotion. There will be a feeling, because emotions are the way that spirit, or our higher selves, our spirit guides, our angels, whatever, however you think of it, that's how it points us toward our truth. And so, a lot of the way that we best connect with our readers is through emotion, and through when we feel something, then they feel something. And, it's just that really beautiful, you've read these books that just pull at your heart and break them open. And those are the really transformative experiences, that, and that's something that we want to have with our readers. And I'm realizing that I'm just talking a lot now. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So the first step is to clear. And there are a million ways to clear out your emotions and to kind of burn through whatever's showing up for you. And you know, there are zillions of techniques, and I use a lot of different things daily because, you know, I like to have different tools for different things. And, you know, some days you can really use a tool, some days it's much harder and you really just have to crawl in bed and cry for a while, and that's your only tool. I did that yesterday. Yeah. But anyway, I think the one that we're going to play with today is really just the idea of, you know, feeling our feelings. It's a little hard to talk about because the words and the story around it is where we tend to get stuck. We tend to get stuck in our heads, and this isn't something that I truly understood for God, 30 till about last week, really. And I still, even earlier this week, I had to kind of relearn that. And I saw where I was up in my head and like creating a story around, you know, I was feeling pain. And so I made up some story about how, you know, I deserved that pain or I hadn't done the right thing. So that's why I was feeling the pain. And like, meanwhile, the pain was just like, I'm just like sitting here. I just want you to feel me. I just want you to shut up and like actually feel the physical sensation. So we're going to play with that a little bit. And then your homework after this is just to, you know, once the video's done, just sort of sit with yourself and ask, like, okay, you know, kind of, you can either ask and say, hey self, what feelings are ready to be felt and to be processed now? Or, you know, just kind of feel in and see like, oh, maybe there's a little bit of fear hiding out in my, you know, in my liver here, or there's some worry that's been like just sitting like a rock in my stomach. And so wherever, let's just do that now. Wherever you're feeling an emotion, just sort of notice it. And let your brain just quiet. One thing you can do is you can imagine all of the thoughts pulling into the center of your brain and just dropping like a little stone into the well of your heart, so that you're just in your body, and wherever you feel the emotion. For me right now, there's a little constriction around my heart. I'm not quite sure what the emotion is, but that's what I'm feeling. So just find the emotion in your body and just allow yourself to feel it. You know, often we push our feelings down because we feel like, you know, oh, I don't have time for this, or oh, if I feel this feeling, then all the other feelings are going to come up and play, and it's just I'm going to be a mess for a week. And you know, and sometimes when we're in a big process, when we're grieving, if we haven't allowed ourselves to feel our emotions for a long time, that can happen. But if that's what's happening, that is the best thing that could possibly be happening for you, because it's just all in there. It just needs to kind of like clear out and sort of, you know, it's like an emotional detox. And when it clears, then you begin to feel so much better, and things feel more expansive, and, you know, the world just kind of like opens up, and you see opportunities, you see things that you couldn't have seen before because you had all of these feelings clamoring for your attention. So really, we just want to, you know, see what feelings exist today, and just say, hey, I see you. I'm gonna feel you physically. I'm just gonna allow myself to feel you physically, feel you pulsing through my body. Just, you know, and when you detach your brain and your judgment from the feeling, you know, it's like the pain actually subsides. The feeling is still there. You still feel the pulsing and you still feel the sensation, but the like the angst and like the real like pain of it floats away, because you're just noticing it as sensation and not something that you really need to get all up in arms about or worry about. So, you know, as we feel in, I'm just kind of feeling that restriction around my heart. And now, you know, if as you're feeling it, it's still just sort of like, it's still hanging out there, you can ask it like, hey, do you have a message for me? Is there something that you need to share with me? Or, you know, is there something behind you? Is there, you're feeling fear, but maybe the fear is really masking a sadness. And so as you feel the fear, the sadness will show up. Like, all right, here's the sadness. And then, you can ask the sadness, do you have a message for me? And sometimes there isn't, necessarily a message, or, there's not a message that you're going to receive kind of consciously. Sometimes the message comes through subconsciously. Sometimes it just really needs to be felt, and it's just asking for you to notice it and just say, hi, let's sit together. Let's just sit here together, and we're not going to, I'm not going to judge you. You're not going to judge me. We're just going to sit here like friends, hang out for a while until you feel like it's time for you to leave. So just sit with whatever sensation, whatever feeling you've noticed, and let's ask it. I'm just going to ask the, kind of the restriction around my heart, what it wants. And I'm just seeing it as like a little ball. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of, fill my space with white light. Just pure source energy, pure source love. Just feel that white light in my field. I'm just going to hand that black ball over to that white light and allow the light to process it. Because we don't have to be responsible for every feeling we ever have. We don't have to, sometimes it can feel like a lot to be like, oh God, I have to process my feelings now. And really, you can just turn them over. You can just turn them over to the light, to your spirit guides, to your spirit animals, to the angels, to, again, whoever, whatever really resonates for you. You can just take that feeling and turn it over and say, I surrender this to you. And if there's a message, it will show up. And there doesn't have to be. If there's not, cool, you're done. Until the next feeling shows up, because we are humans, and we don't ever get to get off the feelings train, honestly. For a while, I thought, oh, hey, I'm just going to feel them all, and then they'll be done. No. So I'm actually just going to feel in again, and let's see. Just seeing, so I turned the fear over to that white light. I'm just going to ask if it does have a message for me, and you can do this as well. Let's see. Nope, nothing. I just had to release it, and now my heart actually feels more open, and now it feels like if I was going to sit down to write, which I'm not, because I'm probably going to sit down and make another video for tomorrow, but if I was going to sit down and write, I would be more open, and the words would come more easily, and I would be able to tap in more clearly with what would be ready to come through. So yeah, that's good for today. And, I encourage you to, when this video is done, my feet are falling asleep because I've been sitting on them. When the video is done, just, kind of continue to sit with your emotion and see what needs to be processed and see what needs to be felt through. Because that's going to really do amazing things for your writing, I promise. And if the sitting and feeling your feelings actually, maybe doesn't feel as good to you, do the free write, write 3 pages or write for 15 minutes without stopping, and just keep going. Not as like a creative exercise, but just to like unleash, because we're writers, and that's one of the ways that we clear ourselves, and the way we feel our emotion is by writing it out. So feel your emotions, write them out. Just, be with them, don't judge them, just sort of ask what they're here to share with you. And oh yes, speaking of sharing, if this is something you think a friend would like, I would love it if you sent them, the page for this challenge. I'll put it below the video. And actually, I'm really excited about this. I think what I'm going to do is, if you do share it, please go into the Facebook group and just let me know that you've shared it, and I'll put you in a little drawing for, I'm going to do like a little gift thing with maybe like a crystal that I choose for you, because I'm a total hippie and I love crystals, and I actually feel like they help when I'm writing. It might just be something pretty to look at, but either way, they do have a really high vibration. They're awesome. Anyway, so I'm going to choose just choose a little gift basket of fun things for you, and also a channeled letter that I do for you, just tapping into your artistic journey and your, your book or just whatever needs to show up for you. And I will include that. So if you share this and let me know that you've shared it, I will put you in a little drawing for that, and one of you will get it, and that'll be really fun. So anyway, have fun, and I will see you tomorrow.